Okay, so I wanted to do something new that somebody hasn't did, and I don't know if this has been done before, but I decided to do. What if that you had Evie as a quirk? Yeah, he's going to have. Well, it's going to be one Evie, but is this going to be able to turn into every Evie? Which I'm pretty sure there was every form of Evie, poison Evie, a fairy Evie, a dragon type Evie, electric type Evie, fire type Evie, water type Evie, ice type Evie, rock type Evie. Basically, there was every type of Eevee in Pokemon, which there's a lot of types. There's, well, like I said, dragon, poison, fairy, ice, water, fire, rock. I think that's all I know. I haven't watched Pokemon since I was a kid, which was like, I'm not gonna say how long ago, but let's say it was a while ago, and like the only reason I still know stuff about it is because I watched Pixel Dip, which if y'all also watch him, it's sad that he's leaving. Dear God, I'm going to miss him, but that's besides the point. I'm not here to talk about Pixel Dip and him leaving, sadly, but that's the point. Let's get into this video. Yeah, what if Deku had Eevee as a quirk? That's going to be the title of the video. And actually got one announcement because I feel like saying it in this video. If y'all want me to do a redo of What If Deku was in the zombie apocalypse, get What If Deku and Jiro Part 2 to 5 likes and comment redo. And he's going to be a zombie in this, but he's still going to have his cut shit. But he's still going to need to eat brains. So is he going to eat his friends? Who knows? Let's find out. Well, let's see if y'all want to find out. Would be the correct terms. So when Deku is born, he's not going to have his quirk, but he's born, and let's say he has white and brown hair, not the green black hair that he has in this picture or in canon. But he basically has Eevee colored hair, and he gets to keep his green eyes. Since in this picture, Eevee has green eyes. His hero costume I'll explain when we get to the hero costume. The chip in this, I kind of want it to be Momo for some reason. I haven't did a girl ship in a minute. Well, I don't think I've even did a girl ship on my channel. Yeah, it's going to be Momo. It seems fun. Yeah, it's going to be Momo. Oh, and the Deku's not going to have a Pokeball for Eevee, so Eevee's going to be out 24/7. So, yeah, and his quirk is going to be considered a manifest. I can't speak for shit. A manifestation quirk. I think that's the correct word. I think. I'm not sure. I can't speak for shit. But yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so we time skip when he is 4, and Bakugo is picking on a kid, and Deku runs up and says, well, it's a scene in the anime, the first time you even see Deku, and Deku says stop, and Bakugo says, shut up, you still haven't even got your quirk, you quirkless reject. And Deku says, well, I only turned 4 a day ago, come on, give me some time. And he says, it's not nice to pick on people. And Bakugo says, well, what are you going to do? You still haven't got your quirk. And Deku says, well, let's see, because I'm going to make him a little bit more bold in this. So he says, let's see, what can I do? And he says, well, I can try to stop you. And Bakugo says, you, a quirkless person, for now, I'm assuming. Well, I'll give you a week to get your quirk, and if it's not, I'm going to pick on you. He says it bluntly in this. And Deku says, well, if you're going to pick on me, I don't want to be your friend anymore. And he says, I'll just make a new friend, and I'll call it Evie. And that's when a portal opens up. Yeah, I'm making this happen. A portal opens up, and a Pokemon, I'm not going to say Pokemon, a creature from one of Deku's favorite part-time shows that isn't getting that much views since it doesn't even involve quirks or heroes. But it's a little interesting show, not too popular, but it's there. and it's going to be called Pokemon, and the it's going to be Ash. Well, it's basically just going to be regular Pokemon. And when the portal opens up and Deku says Eevee, you see Ash saying, well, you see Ash on the other side of the portal saying, "Yo, help him out, Eevee." And Deku says Ash, and Ash winks, and the portal closes. Deku will be able to see Ash, but not too much. Ash will just be able to help Deku train through Eevee sometimes and through his mindscape. That part, when Deku said Ash, nobody else seen the portal open up. This Deku, they just seen a creature appear right in front of, well, right next to Deku. And when Deku said Ash, Bakio said, "Who are you? Who's Ash? Is that what you're calling that little creature?" And Deku's like, "Wait, no." And Ash just says, well, before the portal closes, Ash says, "Try meditating. It might help you." And the portal closes. Deku, he won't forget that. He says meditating, and he drills it in his mind. He says it over and over again for the rest of the day. But Bakio still launches out a Deku, and Eevee, well, essentially trying to protect her new owner. Let's make it a her since I already said her. Trying to protect her new owner, jumps at Bakio, pushing him back with a lot of strength, and all she did is jump at him. All she did is jump and touch him with her paw, not even her whole paw, like barely even grazing him, which pushed him back a lot. Because I'm going to have to make her physically strong. I'll give her a name in a minute. I just don't know what I want to call her yet. For now, I'll just say Eevee since I don't want to keep saying her. Eevee touches Bakio with a paw. Well, let's say a nail, like a claw or whatever. And Bakio flies back, hitting into the wall. The teacher seeing, let's say they're at school. The teacher seeing this runs up and says, "Deku, what's that? What's that creature?" And Deku says, "I don't know. It just because he doesn't want to say it jumped out a portal and I don't know what it is." He just says, "I think it's my quirk, being smart." Because being not smarter than he should be, but being smart and not saying that it jumped out a portal. And the teacher's like, "Oh, it might be your quirk. Your quirk might be a manifestation," because I can't say the right word. It might be a item or something like that. The teacher says, calls Inko and says, "I think your son awakened his quirk. You should go get him to the quirk doctor before he hurts anybody." And the teacher slips out this anybody else, and Inko says, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, he hurt this kid named Bakio Katsumi, or whatever Bakio's name is. I think he was picking on a kid, and Deku standed up for him." And the teacher was like, "Yeah, that's basically what happened." And Inko's like, "Oh, okay," because she didn't she was about to get Deku in trouble, but Deku was standing up for a kid, so she's just like, "Oh, okay." And 5 minutes, well, let's say 10 minutes later, after Deku was sent to the nurse, and he was just sitting there petting Eevee, just sitting there petting Eevee, not talking to Eevee, just petting Eevee, and the nurse was trying to talk to Deku, but Deku was lost in thought, trying to, just think of what just happened, not meditate, but just think what just happened. And then Ingo gets there and he jumps up and says, "Mom, does this mean I got a quirk? Does this mean I get to go to the quirk doctor and all that?" And the quirk doctor automatically tries stealing the quirk, this because the quirk doctor's like, "What is this creature? So and so might want this." But when he tries, Eevee just jumps up into the in the way, and smacks the hand down, before the quirk doctor could pick up Izuku. And Eevee looks at Izuku and touches him on the forehead. I'm giving her telekinesis, basically, where she can talk to him, and says, "Don't let this guy touch you. He's bad." Deku looks around and says, "Wait, where did that voice come from?" But he says it in his head. And he says, "Wait, is this you, Eevee?" And she she's like, yeah. And well, Evie's like, yeah. And Deku automatically, well, stands behind his mom because he's scared, and he whispers in her ear, "I think that guy's a bad guy. I don't trust him, mom." And Inko says, like, as quietly as possible, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, Evie doesn't trust him, so I don't trust him." And Inko's like, "Okay, fine. I'll give you a different quirk, doctor." And well, Inko says, "My son doesn't like you." Like, she's being blunt. She says, "My son doesn't like you. Can we get a different quirk, doctor?" And the quirk doctor, he tries to say something like, "No, I'm the only one on shift right now." And Inko's like, "Yeah, no, I don't trust you. I've seen 10 other doctors out there. Give me another quirk, doctor, or I'm calling the cops." And he says fine, and he gets up angrily because he didn't get to get the quirk. And let's say One For All was watching this, so the doctor's about to get a beating because yeah, One For All is going to abuse him because why not? Like, it's not going to be important, but yeah, it is. This seems fitting for why not. So they get another quirk doctor. This time it's a girl, and Deku asked Evie, we're talking in his head, and says, "Is this one okay?" Evie jumps up, sits in her lap, and sits there for a few seconds, and jumps back down and says, "Yeah, she's fine, I think, for now." And then Deku, well, he gets his quirk analyzed. Basically, they have to take a DNA sample of Evie and Deku, and basically Evie doesn't have the same genetics as Deku, which is weird because usually manifestations, if they have four or well or living creatures, have the same genetics as the well person, since it's a manifestation of them usually, or a creature of them, a beast form of them, basically. Don't know how to explain it, but it's not. Let me see how long I have because I feel like I was sitting there for a minute just talking. Yeah, I only have 2 minutes. I'm barely getting this work analyzed. Be like, oh my god, when you're on one scene for like ever, or whatever. I like putting a lot of detail in important scenes, and so basically they just say it seems like it had like we can't get that much information on it, and Deku's like, "It's not a it, it's a her, and its name is," and he stops and thinks for a little bit, and I'm going to call it EB for now because I want y'all to be able to name her. I'm going to call it Dash for now, just because I want y'all to be able to name it. But if y'all like don't put a name in the comments, I'll think of a name because Dash is a boring name. So for now, he's like, "It's Dash for now at least. I might change it in the future. It depends." And he's like, "Well, mom, now that we got my quirk analyzed, and it's not that much that they know about it. They just know that it's a manifestation and it has a lot of physical strength. Can we go home? I'm really tired. For some reason, my energy is drained." And the quirk doctor says, "Oh, that's because it seems like when you use your like your sidekick abilities with Evie, because he's like, oh yeah, and you got a fusion of your mom quirk too, basically. Y'all two can basically talk in each other's head, and that's what Inko's quirk is for now. It's she can talk to each other, like to people through their head, and pick up small objects. Well, not small objects, because I want to make her a hero. So she can pick up objects like it's nothing. Like she can pick up a whole house, like nothing. So yeah, Inko's going to be like the number 4 hero, because I don't want her to take any important thoughts. This number 4 hero, and she's going to be a teacher at UA because I feel like doing that for now. She's not going to be in a ship or nothing. I just feel like putting her in UA. Actually, no, she's going to be dating All Might, but that will uh, well decide something in the future later. Anyway, let me see how long I have left because I know I only have a few seconds. You have 13 seconds. And then let those 13 seconds pass up by saying Deku's on his way home, and he gets in his room and sleeps. And when he goes to sleep, he sees Ash. When he gets into his room, he sees Ash. and him and Ash start talking, and I'm going to leave it off there. This is Shadow Master signing out once again.